All right, everybody, welcome back. I am so excited for today's deep dive because this is something I feel like we could all use a little bit of help with.
Definitely. Yeah.
So today we are going to be talking about online negativity.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
It never ends, right?
Ever? Yeah. It's part of the internet.
It's everywhere.
Huh.
But this deep dive is actually inspired by a Nollywood actor named Kunle Remi.
Okay.
And I came across this Instagram post of his.
Oh, interesting.
And he basically came out and said, I am done with the negativity on my page.
Right.
And he's like, I'm blocking all the negative. And it's not even just like, oh, you're being mean, so I'm going to block you, or I'm going to block the trolls, or whatever. He's talking about this on like a deeper level. He's talking about it from like a spiritual perspective.
Ooh, that's interesting. Okay.
So I found that really intriguing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is going to be a really interesting deep dive.
Yeah. What is this perspective? I'm curious.
Exactly. So let's get into it.
Okay.
So first of all, just a little background on Kunle Remi. For people who aren't familiar, he's a Nollywood actor. And Nollywood is basically the Nigerian film industry.
Okay. Yeah.
So think like Hollywood, but Nigerian
Yes.
films.
Gotcha.
And I've actually seen a few of his movies.
Oh, cool.
He's a really good actor.
Yeah.
So this isn't just like some random person on Instagram,
Right.
He's got a following and
Okay.
he's got a platform.
Right. Yeah.
So it was really interesting to see him kind of come out and take this stance.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense because public figures, especially actors, singers, politicians even,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
they deal with so much negativity online
Yes, it's awful.
all the time. There's just this constant barrage of criticism. And, sometimes it's constructive,
Right.
but a lot of times it's just plain nasty.
Oh yeah.
And it's really important, I think, to talk about the impact this has on people because
Yeah.
it can be really detrimental to your mental health. There are studies that show exposure to this constant negativity online, it can lead to anxiety, depression, and even physical health problems.
Oh wow. I didn't know that there was like a physical
Yeah.
manifestation.
Yeah, your mental health is so tied to your physical health.
That's true. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a
Okay.
serious issue.
Wow. That's really eye-opening.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but like when you actually hear that, it's like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Like this is serious stuff.
It's not just like brushing it off, right? It's actually affecting people.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so interesting about Kunle Remi's perspective on this.
Okay, so what is it?
So in his post, he says, and I quote, "This page is for light and good vibes only. If you come with darkness and negativity, I will block you." Like all caps.
Whoa. Yeah, he's serious.
He's serious. He's setting a boundary.
Yeah, I like that.
And then he goes on to say, be careful how much negativity you absorb. It contaminates the good soil.
Ooh, that's an interesting analogy.
Right?
I'm curious about that good soil. What does he mean?
Yeah. So I think what he's getting at is like, you know how we talk about, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Right.
Or like you are what you eat.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like that, but for your mental and spiritual well-being.
Okay.
So if you're constantly surrounded by negativity online, if you're constantly absorbing all this negativity, it's like you're contaminating that good soil.
Right.
You're contaminating your own inner peace.
That makes sense.
And this actually ties into some really interesting psychological concepts like negativity bias.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah, so negativity bias is basically this tendency for our brains to focus more on negative experiences than positive ones.
Really?
Yeah, it's like we're wired to pay more attention to threats and dangers.
Huh. Interesting.
Which makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint.
Right.
You had to be aware of those saber-toothed tigers.
Right. Avoid getting eaten.
Exactly. But nowadays, it means we tend to dwell on that one negative comment,
Oh, yeah.
even if we get 100 positive ones.
Oh, man, that's so true.
Yeah, and there's also this concept of emotional contagion,
Okay.
which is basically the idea that we can catch the emotions of other people,
Even online?
even online.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like this subconscious mirroring of emotions.
So, like, if someone is posting a bunch of angry rants,
Yeah.
like, I'm absorbing that anger.
Yeah, you're more likely to feel angry or frustrated yourself, even if you weren't before.
That's wild.
Yeah, so, it's not just about, like, ignoring the haters. It's about protecting your own energy.
It's like protecting your own peace.
Exactly. And Remi, he goes even further. He talks about the internet's long memory.
Ooh, yeah.
Which is something I think we all need to be more mindful of.
Probably.
Like the things we say and do online, they can come back to haunt us years later.
Oh, yeah?
Screenshots are forever.
Oh, man.
And you never know how something you post today might be perceived in the future.
Right, because things change so quickly.
Exactly, and people's opinions evolve. So what might seem harmless today could be interpreted very differently down the line.
Yeah, and that's something that I think a lot of people don't think about, especially like younger people.
Yeah.
Because they've grown up with the internet.
Right, it's just second nature.
Right.
But we need to remember that our digital footprint is real.
Yeah, it's not going away.
And it can have real-world consequences.
So what's Remi's advice? What does he say people should do?
Well, he urges people to unsubscribe from darkness. He's basically saying we need to be more discerning about what we consume online and what energy we allow into our own lives.
Yeah, it's like being mindful of your media diet.
Exactly.
Just like you're careful about what you eat.
Yeah, you should be careful about what you read and what you watch and who you follow online.
That's so true. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, it's all about being intentional.
I love
that. Your online experience.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes Remi's perspective so unique.
Yeah.
It's not just about be nice to each other.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that online actions have real-world consequences.
Absolutely.
Both for ourselves and for others.
Yeah, and it raises some important questions.
Like what?
Well, where do we draw the line between engaging in online discussions and protecting our own well-being?
Yeah, because sometimes you do want to engage.
Right, you want to have those conversations.
But you also don't want to get sucked into the negativity.
Exactly. It's a tough balance.
Well, how do we do it?
Well, I think it starts with being aware of your own triggers.
Okay.
What are the things that tend to set you off online?
Oh, interesting.
And once you know what those are, you can start to set boundaries.
Right.
Maybe you unfollow certain accounts, or you limit your time on social media, or you consciously choose to engage with more positive content.
So it's about being proactive.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
You have the power to curate your online experience.
That's so empowering.
It is.
Wow, this has been really insightful.
Yeah, I think Remi's message is so important. Totally. It's a reminder that we need to be more mindful of our digital footprint and the impact our words and actions can have on others.
On ourselves.
And ourselves, exactly.
And I think what's really sticking with me is what you said about the internet's long memory.
Yeah, something to think about.
It is, because, we're all constantly creating this digital record of ourselves.
Right.
And it's out there for the world to see.
Exactly.
So it really makes you think about, what kind of legacy are we leaving behind?
That's a good question.
Right.
Yeah.
So thinking about that, I guess that's our question for the listeners today.
Okay, what is it?
What are the long-term consequences of online negativity, both for individuals and for society as a whole?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right.
Yeah. Let us know what you think.
Yes. Hit us up in the comments, because this conversation is not over.
Definitely not.
We want to hear your thoughts.
Absolutely.
So until next time, stay positive out there.
Yeah, spread those good vibes.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Bye.